All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back here for another recap video. Today we are finishing green up $434, mostly trading GXAI and VERI for a little bit small share size on VERI. Actually, pretty much the whole day was pretty much small share size. I had one or two bigger trades on GXAI at the opening range here, about 500 to 1,000 shares in this area. I was able to lock up. I was unrealized over $500, but I sold in two increments, and my last portion of my sell was a 40-cent difference from my original sell. So if I just sold it all in one order, I could be up another $200 on top of what I have right now. But that's the thing about trading is, you can always say what if this, what if that changed, and whatever. Who knows? Maybe the opposite could have happened. Maybe I could have sold at the high and made a fat profit, thinking that, all right, this thing is gonna rip, and then I get in on this candle, looking for continuation, and I lose $1 a share, $1.50 a share, and then I'm down red because now I'm getting over aggressive. So, you can always think like, oh, what if this, what if that, blah, blah, blah. But, at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. And the only thing you can do is review what happened and then try to be better for the next day. But I think I had the right idea. I was scaling out into a winner, but I was thinking we were going to get this breakout, like on this candle. I thought we were going to rip, but we pulled back, and I'm selling that position, the rest of that position, for break even or small red. And we didn't break out for another two candles, and when we did break out, we couldn't even hold the highs. We dumped all the way back down from like 11.90 all the way back down to $11, then back up to $12. This thing was a freaking headache. This thing was a headache. And after this, like after I made some decent, okay profit on it, I was like, I want to play passive today because this price action, it was just really tough. Lots of churning near the highs, hard to time. Even on the dips, we weren't getting solid dip entries. And I overall, I had some challenge here on GXAI. And after about, 9:45, 10, I was going through like a time where I was just like frozen. I was like, I can't trade this. Like, I'm not feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. And so, a beautiful move, and I didn't trade any of it. From 12 up to 16, I didn't trade any of it. And then I'm finally like, all right, this thing's moving. All right, let's get in. And of course, I start trading this at the beginning of the backside. On small share size, I was like, you know what? Okay, I got to break the ice. I felt like there was just like a resistance I was feeling from, taking a trade. So I was like, all right, this is a great move. Okay, let's finally get in. Let's start with small share size. And that's the beginning of the backside move. And while I did make some profits, I did give a little bit back here on this flush. About 12-cent loss right there. I was ultimately trading small size. It was backside. I was able to kind of capitalize on some dips, especially here. This is a great trade down here. Halt down, resumption into the 5 minute 9 EMA support. 5 minute 9 EMA. We halted down, opened right at that 9 EMA on the 5 minute, and we had a nice support bounce. Very nice support bounce. I only did 50 shares though. 50 shares. 50 shares from 12.90 to 13.13. That's a 23-cent trade right there. If I did that on 500 shares, that's a nice quick $120 bucks. But at this price action, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling pulled to really take big size. My instincts were telling me, this price action is a little tough. And I definitely want to play this a little bit more passive. On the more conservative side, and that's what I did. I was aggressive for the first, couple minutes. I'm turning, maybe 500 to 1,000 shares. which is enough to make some decent money. I mean, 1,000 shares on a $10 stock, that's $10,000 position size. If you have a 10% winner, that's $1,000. But I think I did all right here at the open. We can take a look at the opening range breakout that I did take for you guys on YouTube. But the rest will be available only on MMU. The link will be in the description to sign up for the live trading archives. The full video will be available there, but we can show a little bit. But yeah, ultimately, with the price action, I didn't think that I would thrive in this price action. I didn't think that I would be big green. I think if I pushed it, I think I'd be red right now. I think if I really pushed it, I think I would have been red, because this stock was tough. And I know a lot of people in the community were struggling as well on GXAI. A lot of people are red on GXAI. That's completely understandable. But you have to know when to reel it in. You have to know when to reel it in. If you're red on a front side move, you gotta reel it in. You gotta reel it in, get your bearings straight, get a couple winners under your belt, and then start to maybe resize in the same stock if you feel like you got your bearings again. But if you're red on a front side move, that's usually a sign that you're not reading price action correctly, or the stock is moving in a way where you can't read it properly, or your strategy is just not performing as well. And that happens to me from time to time, is like I'll be red and the stock goes up like 100% or 50% or 200% or even more than that. Like, that's happened before. And those are the most frustrating days, is when you're red on a beautiful front side move. And then, you try to overcompensate. Because you should be green. You should be in a situation. You should be at a profit level where you think you should be, but you're not. You're red. And so now you're trying to get aggressive in areas where you shouldn't be aggressive. And then you're trading, this part of the move on big size, which has a risk-reward ratio not as great as this part of the move. So if you're red on this move, you for sure should not be sizing up bigger on this move. That's already a bad sign. It should always be reversed. On the front side move, you should be taking your biggest positions ever on the day. On the backside move, yes, you can still be profitable on the backside move, but the risk reward is usually 1-to-1 and sometimes negative. So in that case, usually I am sized maybe about half or quarter of what I traded on this portion of the day. So that's usually how I try to structure my day, and that's why most of my profit on the day is between 9:30 and 9:45. If I look at my metrics, most profit I make is between 9:30 and 9:45, because that's usually the most volatile. That's usually the most volume. That's when we get the biggest rips in the market. And in those moments, I want to be the biggest size. And then on the rest of the day, start to fade risk. If you're trading backside, sizing down for the backside move for consolidation, taking smaller sizes in a consolidation than I was on the front side move. And that's how, as well as that, that's also another reason why I'm able to kind of hold on to profits very well, is because my sizing strategy and the timing of my size is always changing. It's always changing. On the front side moves, I try to be most aggressive. On the consolidation, I'm always smaller than I was on the front side move. And on the backside, I'm even smaller. On the backside moves, I'm even smaller. Usually on the backside, my mindset is, okay, if I can make just a couple extra $100, or another $50, or a couple dollars here and there just to add to my profit, then great. But I'm not trying to make my day on a backside move. I'm never trying to make my day on a backside move. And I'm not trying to double my profit on a backside move. I'm not trying to go from, plus 500 to, okay, let's risk this $500 profit that I just worked so hard for on this front side move. Let's just risk all of that trading on this one trade on a backside move to try to double my profit. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to add a little bit more, trying to make a good day just a little bit better on these backside trades. So that's sort of my sizing strategy, is sort of my mindset as the day goes on and the tickers start to change from front side to consolidation to backside. But let's take a quick look here at that opening range trade for you guys, and then we can take a look at the statistics. So opening, you know, I thought the stock was great. Everyone was looking at this stock because it was the only one that was up. It was the only one that had great volume, the only one that had news, and it was a sub 1 million float. So I figured that most traders would be looking at this stock. So looking at GXAI, there's a quick price action scalp for break even. There's a quick dip, a little bit risky. That's why I only did 200 shares. Okay, looks like we're holding there, so I got back in. Selling for only a 4-cent gain. Spreads were kind of tough. I was getting filled on the ask. Here it could be in, boom, all right. And in at 10.05, out at 10.23. So nice 15, 16 cent trade right there, coming down again. That would have been another great entry right there, right here. Risking 10. Got in at 10.09 and got filled at 10. So it looks like the spread got the best of me there. Now we're back up on the bid, 10.22. So like it should have been a green trade, but the spread, man, can get tricky. It can get tricky. And usually, you know, in my previous days, before I actually got on the Dash Trader, I actually never traded stocks over 10 bucks. Like I never really traded stocks over 10 bucks because it was so hard to read. And the spread was just tough on just looking at the ladder. But, you know, with Dash Trader, I'm a little bit more comfortable trading stocks, you know, $10, $20. And I seem to be just as profitable on those stocks because it's a little bit easier to read the price action because you can see the spread. But on the ladder, you know, if you take a look at the ladder on these larger price stocks, you know, the bid and the ask just like going off the screen, and you can't even see it. So here we go. We get this nice, you know, 1 minute break. The previous 1 minute candle, 1 minute to make a new high, and you know, I'm a little bit skeptical. I want to see it hold. It needs to hold, and then maybe I can size it. So boom, there it is. All right, in at 10.62. Okay, out at 10.62 break even. I want to see it hold. All right, looks like we're pushing higher. So I'm back in at 63, out at 88. See a quick 1 minute pullback. Boom, I need to be in there. Okay, in 500 shares at 87. Out quick at 11.21. Beautiful 35.40 cents there. And let's see another trade. Quick micro pullback in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then watch this. Watch this. And at 11.20, I'm already in the profit zone right here. We're testing high a day. 1,000 shares. 11.42 on the bid. I should be taking it off right now, but I'm thinking this is going to rip. I'm thinking this is going to freaking rip. And we don't. And it pulls back, and there goes $200 evaporated. So what could have been a great, you know, day up $500, $600, $700, you know, this one little tweak costed $200 or more, 250. Now I'm only up 316, but if I would have sold all of it at the high, I would have been at 500. But, you know, whatever, man, whatever. I'm going to beat myself up over that. You know, this thing could have definitely ripped past 1150 on the same candle. This thing could have definitely ripped past 1150 and up to 12. It could have went up to 12, and I could be selling at 1180, 1190, and I could be up 800, 900 bucks just on this one trade. I think I got to give myself a break there, but you know, at least we're green. It just, the stock wasn't as aggressive as I wanted it to be. But yeah, that's all I'm going to show. That's all I'm going to show. The rest is available on MMU, link in the description. Use that link. You can also, after you click on that link, use code TRIAD for 40% off. Let's take a quick look at the statistics. So far I'm up 1,500 on the week, which is okay. I mean, definitely a decent week. We're only 3 days in. You know, I'm just trying to stay consistent, man. I'm just trying to stay consistent. The price action has been very, very tough the past few days, the past week or so. So, you know, with this price action, I just want to, you know, focus on being consistent because there's a lot to get caught in. There's a lot to get frustrated. It's easy to get emotionally out of control. And so what I'm focusing on is just staying consistent. Whatever, man. $300 or $400. It's a small day. That's fine. That's fine. This price action is not telling me that I need to be taking, 4 or 5,000 shares on, a $5 or $6 stock like I've been, last month. Last month I was pushing it. I had a 3K day, many 1K to 2K days. But this month is not telling me to push it again. It's telling me to, be consistent, focus on being consistent, take your gains when you have it, and just not try to get too frustrated and not to go on tilt. I just don't want to go on tilt. I want to stay consistent until I get another stock that goes, 500, 600% and is absolutely just tearing faces off, going parabolic. That's when I see that, that's when I want to do, my 3K size, my 4K size, push it to 5K size. And that's how I'm going to have those bigger days. But I got to stay consistent till then. I don't want to, try to force that kind of day when that day's not there. And that's how, you have these blowout red days. So, if I can stay consistent, heck, man, $300, $400 a day, that's 3-4 times more than I've ever made at my day job. I used to make $125 a day working 8 hours a day. And, I'm doing 3 times that right now. This is a small day. So, I got to keep everything in perspective. I got to stay focused. And, I got to be grateful for this $300 or $400 because it does add up, man. It does add up. If I even keep this up, that's, let's say like $2,000 a week. $2,000 a week, 52 weeks of the year, that's 100K. That's 6 figs, baby. That's 6 figs. You got to be grateful for that. You got to be grateful for the small gains, even if you're making something smaller than this. Like even if you're making $50 to $100 a day, it's great supplemental income. And that's what I was doing, earlier, in 2021, 2022, just trying to make, an extra $20, $30, $40 a day. And it was great supplemental income. I was taking my girl out for dinner, going out for drinks. I was living in Miami at the time and could barely even afford anything. But so having this extra $30, $40 a day, really does make a difference just for supplemental income. You can pay for groceries at the end of the month, with the extra couple $100. You can go out to dinner, you can go grab drinks, you can treat yourself a little bit. So you got to keep everything in perspective, especially with these smaller days. It's okay to have a smaller day. Don't try to force it into a big green day. Don't get the FOMO. You see everyone posting these big green days. Sometimes you just got to keep it dialed in, keep it controlled. The time will come. The time will come. We can take a quick look at the statistics. I'm all riled up today. I'm all riled up because I am excited. I am super stoked. Just so far, it's been a great year, man. It's been a great year so far, and I know it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. So far, I'm up more. I've already made more than I've made last year, in 2023. In the first 2.5 months of 2024, I made more than I made in the entire 2023. And that is just gets me excited. That gets me freaking riled up. But anyways, we're up 432. Profit margin 71%. Juicy, beautiful. Largest win $170, probably in that trade that I showed you guys. See, average position costs, we're taking a little bit of a step down, but it's okay because this price action, isn't telling me, go all in. It's not telling me to go all in. Gotta just focus on my consistency, staying emotionally composed. Don't want to emotionally spiral out of control. So it's very variable. It's very variable with with my share size. And that's how I'm able to stay consistent for so long and rarely have a blowout day. Because I'm very in tune. I'm very intuitive with the market. I let the market tell me what to do. That's really what I do. I let the market tell me. Is today, am I going to push share size today? Is this an aggressive day? Is this the day I should be adding higher into my winners? Or is it going to be a day where, I'm buying low, taking my quick couple cents, waiting for the next entry? So I'm really waiting for the market to tell me. I'm always waiting for the market to tell me what to do every single day. And, you know, if you can read that, then you can usually avoid a lot of blowout red days. And also with the price action, you know, the price action tells you a lot. You know, give it a little bit of, just give it a couple feeler trades. Give it a couple feeler trades, and the market will tell you if you're reading it correctly with wins and losses. Literally, it's an obvious, you know, reading of, you know, take a couple feeler trades. You know, if you're starting to get some green and it's like it's working out, the areas where you're buying is resolving into a green trade, you know, then that means that, okay, I do have, you know, a solid read in the market. But if you're, you know, taking a couple trades and it's just like kind of just chopping you around, that's also telling you something. And that's telling you to just calm down, take it easy, be patient, you know, don't try to push it yet. So you got to wait for that right moment. You got to wait for that right moment. And sometimes it's even within the same day. Sometimes, you know, one part of the day is like, all right, it's choppy. You know, keep it tight. And then it starts to rip. And then it starts to open up. And it's holding highs. And then pulling back high. And then ripping another 50%. And that time, you got to switch from that, okay, got to be calm, cool, collected, to now I got to be aggressive. Now I got to push size. And now I got to, you know, add a little bit higher, hold on to my winners a little longer. So, you know, it also can change within even the same stock. So it's just about being, you know, aware, being intuitive with the market, being intuitive with the stock, letting the market tell you what to do. But yeah, my statistics, you know, a little bit on the smaller size, but we are, you know, 58% accuracy, solid 2-to-1, slightly bigger than 2-to-1, or 1-to-2 risk reward, with $432 of profit, 71% profit margin. Yeah, pretty decent. You know, I definitely can't complain about this. It's a smaller day, but, you know, I'm happy with my performance. I knew that it was definitely a risky day. The risk on the table was definitely bigger today. I felt like on GXAI, I couldn't read it. I was having trouble reading it. And, you know, it's good that I didn't try to force it. But it was only in the first 3 minutes of the day, I already put in the higher day of my profit. After 9:33, I just churned for another, you know, hour. For another hour, I made nothing. So that's also another sign that, you know, I had won a couple good trades and then really could not get a handle on the market. But, you know, at least I didn't give anything back is what's important. I was able to kind of, you know, step back and not risk. I didn't want to risk an okay day for, you know, setups that I was not too fond of or was not super excited for. But I'm excited for, you know, what I am excited for is the rest of 2024, because we are on a tear. We're doing great for 2024, and I think it's only going to get better. So far in 2024, I'm up about 20 G's. 20 G's in 2.5 months. Last year, I only made 17,000. So 17,000, I'm already breaking what I made last year. And then the year before that, I only made 15,000. So this year's already showing that's going to be a huge leg up in progress. And my results are starting to show itself, which is great. It's definitely the most fulfilling feeling I've ever experienced in my entire life. And I hope everybody can get to this point. I hope everybody can experience this. Because it's just beautiful being able to work at something that you love so much for 3-4 years, and finally on the 5th year, starting to feel like you're getting some traction. That is the most beautiful feeling I've ever felt my entire life, and I hope everybody can experience that. But anyways, let's end the video here. I don't want to make it too long. If you guys are still watching, hit that thumbs up button for me. Hit that subscribe if you're new. Check out the links down the description, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, peace.